Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be showing you how to build Gamma Zone using the parts from the LEGO Creator set number 31058 Mighty Dinosaurs. So, first and foremost, we will be taking a look at the assortment of parts that we will be using to build our alternate build. And to start things off, I'm going to give you a nice bird's eye view of the parts that we would need to build it. Now, as per usual, there are going to be some segments of the build that are going to be pre-built. This is because these parts of the build are either duplicated or mirrored. So, without further ado, let's start. So, starting off, first I'll be scooching over a little bit so I can get a nice seating. So starting off, we will be working on the chest first. So let's start things off by grabbing a beige and 2x6 plates and taking our mixel ball joints and attaching it to the two studs right there. Then we will take one of these interesting little pieces, and we'll be taking one of these spike pieces with the bar connection, and we will be connecting this bar connection into the hole right here on this, like so. And of course, we will be mirroring that. And something that I'm doing right here is I'm going to have it at a ever so slight angle. Not entirely necessary, but it does give it a nice look when the build is done. So what's going to happen is we're going to attach these onto the stud, connect these parts onto the studs next to the mixel part, next to the mixel piece, like so, on either side, so that the spikes are pointed away from the ball. Then next, what we're doing is we take our 2x4 plate in beige, and we take two of these light gray clip pieces, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the studs onto the anti-studs on one side of the underside of the 2x4, like so. After that, we will take a green 2x4 plate, and we're going to be layering this on top of the beige 2x4, like so. So have it look like that. Then after that, we can layer this on top of here, like so, making sure that the green anti-studs on the other side of this 2x4 are going to be connecting to these parts here, like so. And there we have that. Next, we're going to be building this little section. So we're going to be taking another one of these mixel ball joints. We're going to take our dark green hinge piece. we're going to be attaching it here, like on top of that, like so. And then we take our little green cheese slope and we attach it to the stud that is closer to the hinge part of this hinge piece, and making sure that the tall end of this cheese slope is pointed away from the ball joints. After that, we take our Lego cylinder piece and one of our orange Baraki eyes, and we're going to be connecting the Baraki eye onto the stud, onto the hollow stud of the cone, of the cylinder, I meant, and have it so it looks like that. Then we're going to be attaching this onto the remaining stud over here, and have that going on like so. And of course we will be mirroring this as well, taking a quick look at how these are mirrored. And then what's going to happen is we're going to connect these onto the chest. So the anti-studs under here are going to connect to these beige studs on the side right here. So connect them like so. Next, let's work on the chest part. So we take our beige 2x4 brick. We take two of these 1x2 green plates. We line them up on top of the brick over on one side like so. Then what we're going to do is we take one of these like sloped tiles. We layer it on top. Of the remaining beige onto the two beige studs like so. And then we'll take a couple of these smaller sloped parts, and we're going to be connecting these onto the remaining beige studs like so. And there. And after that, we will take our dark green 2x2 rounded plate with the axle hole through it. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this onto the two studs up here. So like that. And we're going to set that aside for now. We can place that there while we're at it. Next, we're going to be working on the top row of teeth. So you take one of these darker green 1x2 plates and one of these white 1x2 plates with these teeth molded into the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer the white 1x2 on top of the green 1x2. And we're going to be creating two of these with the dark green 1x2s and the spiked tooth 1x2s. And we're going to be connecting these two parts via this maroon 1x4 tile. So the studs of these white studs are, of course, going to be connecting to these anti-studs, like so. Very simple. Then after that, we can connect this tooth assembly onto this row of beige studs, like so. Very neat. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this like nose section, I guess, and we're going to be layering it on top of here like so. And then boom, you got the chest section pretty much done. Next, we're going to be working on the back kibbly bits. So starting off, we'll be taking these two pieces. First of all, this gray snot brick and this black black clip part. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach this black clip piece, and we're going to be attaching it to the two like light gray studs on top of this brick. Attaching it like so and making sure that the sides with the clips are facing away from the side of the brick with the studs on the side. And of course, we're going to be setting that aside for now. And then next, we're going to be building this little section. So, like these little sections. So we take one of these like inverted like slope bricks. We take one of these dark beige like snot bricks. We're going to be attaching one of these studs on the top, and we're going to be connecting it to one of the anti-studs. In this case, we're going to be connecting it to this one. Then after that, we'll take this snot brick with the two studs on like these two sides. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach the anti-stud of this onto the other like dark beige like stud on the top of this brick. So we're going to be connecting it like this so that one of these studs on the side is pointing this way and the other is pointing this way. Having it so it looks like that. And then after that gets done, we take one of these like longer like green slope pieces. We connect these two we connect the anti-studs of this part, and we're going to connect it to the studs on the side, on this side of this snot brick, like so. And then after that, we'll take our nice little like Technic sort of hinge piece, and what we're going to do here is we're going to connect one of, so what we're going to do here is we're going to attach we're going to push one of these like bar connections into this stud up here. So let's just slide that in, making sure that the axle hole part is, that the bushing part is facing this way. Facing this way, same direction as this exposed stud. And then we're pretty much done with this component. And of course, we are going to be mirroring this build, giving you a good look at it to show you how it's mirrored. Okay. And then after that, I guess we can quickly, like, yeah, we'll work on the lower body next. So, for the lower body, we take one of these pieces. We're going to be taking another one of these green sloped tiles, as well as another one of these white 1x2 tooth pieces. So we're going to be connecting the white studs up here onto the green anti-studs down here on right there, connecting it like that, so the anti-studs are now flush. After that, we'll take our two wedge pieces, line up our green wedge pieces, our dark green wedge pieces, like so. And then we're going to be connecting these anti-studs onto these four studs right here. Connecting the two wedges together, and there we have that. After that, we'll take our 2x4 brick with the ball joints sticking out of the sides, and we're going to connect the four studs onto the four anti-studs down here, like so. Then after that, we'll take another one of these like black clip pieces. We're going to be clipping on this black bar, this black bar thing, and we're going to be clipping that onto the clips like so. Then after that, I'm just quickly checking something. Just want to quickly check something. So, we take... I just want to check something. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two of these maroon 1x2s. We're going to be connecting one of them onto the black studs of this clip piece, like so, and then the other one will be connected onto the anti-studs of this part. And then we're going to connect the two studs on top of this onto these two anti-studs of the leftover from the green wedge pieces, like so. And we'll quickly see if that's like right. No, that's not right. My bad. Of course I forget how to do this. Of course. Is it like that? I doubt that is. Let's try it this way. I should be... Yeah, it's my bad for forgetting how this waist connection was, connected. Alright, I think this might have been the connection that it is. So, I believe you connect the two maroon 1x2 together, as hard of a connection it is to split apart as it may be, but I think that's how it's done. So we're going to be connecting the maroon studs onto the anti-studs of this hinge piece, and then we're going to be connecting the studs onto the anti-studs from the green wedges, like so. Then after that, we'll be taking this beige inverted slope brick, and we're going to be lining these studs onto these 6 anti-studs, like so. Fairly simple. Maybe I did get this wrong. maybe it's like that. Okay, it's like that. Okay, so it goes. Okay, so it goes from front to back. The maroon part, then the black hinge part. Okay. Took me a little bit, but this is like the right orientation. So you connect the maroon part there, then you connect the other maroon part onto the anti-studs of that, and then you connect the hinge parts to the anti-studs of that part, and then you would simply just clip this. Then you just simply just clip these gray clips onto the ends of the bar like so, and then there you would have your like torso connection. Kind of crazy. But with that out of the way, let's get the head connected. Let's get the head built up next. So we'll take one of these. So we'll be taking one of these mixel like socket joints, the one that's more vertical. So we'll be, and of course we'll take another one of these dark beige snot bricks. So how we're going to be connecting these is, so we're going to be connecting this stud to this like middle like bar connection in between the two anti studs right here. See this like bar thing? That bar connection will go inside the stud like that, giving us that connection. Then after that, we'll attach we'll attach two of these green cheese slopes onto the studs facing towards the camera, like so. We'll have the two like tall ends facing towards each other, forming a green faceplate. Then after that, we will take a simple 1x1 rounded stud. We'll connect a clip piece on top of that stud, and then after that, we'll take another one of these like black like spike pieces. We're going to be clipping that onto the clip on top of there, like so, making sure this is like angled down a little bit. And we will be, and then of course we will be mirroring this part of the build as well. And then what's going to happen is that the anti-studs from these translucent orange pieces are going to connect to the studs facing up to these like snot, to the snot brick, to the studs of the snot brick that are facing away from the socket joint. So like that and that. And there we have our head, all done up and ready to go. Next, we will be working on arm, leg. Actually, you know what? Well, arm. Why not? So for our arm, I'm gonna be like referring to this as reference, a little bit of like me trying to remember like how this is built. So we take another one of our 2x4 green plates. We're going to be connecting another one of these nice little like black connection pieces, and we're going to be attaching this onto the stud right here, like that, so it's facing that way. Then what's going to happen is we're going to take one of these mixel socket joints, and we're going to be connecting this anti-stud, and we're going to be connecting it to that black stud right there, like so. And then what's going to happen is we're going to connect one of these 1x1s in green, 1x1 like pieces in green, and we're going to be attaching it to this stud here, like so. Then after that, we'll take another two of these 1x2 dark green plates, and we're going to be taking another one of these mixel ball joints, and we're going to be adding one on top of these studs and one on, and connecting the other one onto the anti-studs, so that it's like sandwiched into the green parts. Then after that, we'll take this little assembly and connect it to these two studs, like so, so that the ball joint is facing away from the rest of the 2x4. Then after that, we will take one of these parts, and for this shoulder, we'll have it so that it's angled this way. So we'll be taking a 2x2 plate, and we're going to be attaching it, and we're going to be layering it onto these 4 studs of this part, like so. Then after that, we'll take another one of these sloped tiles, and we're going to be attaching these 2 anti-studs onto these 2 studs down here, so that it's lined up with the 2x2. Then after that, we'll take, of course, we're going to be we're going to be connecting another one of these like black spike pieces into another one of these gray clip parts, connecting it like so. Yeah, connecting it like so, and having it so that's a little bit more angled this time. And what's going to happen is we're going to connect this little assembly onto this stud right here, so that it's going to be like that. Then after that, we'll take this part, another one of these white tooth pieces. So we're going to be connecting these 2 studs onto the 2 anti-studs right here. So like that. Then after that, we can connect the front of the shoulder onto this part. So these 2 anti-studs will line up with these 2 studs, and this anti-stud here at the corner will line up with this stud. But before we do that, we'll take our 1x2 brick, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to these 2 studs here at the middle, like so. And then we layer this over. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. So, and there we have our shoulder assembly. Next, we're going to be working on the forearm. And the forearm is really simple. We take our wedge piece. In this case, we're grabbing the wedge that is pointing at this pointing towards this side. We're going to be taking one of our vertical like mixel socket joints. Going to be layering it on top of these 2 studs, and then we're going to be taking one of these parts, and then we'll take one of these little Technic pieces, and we're going to be pushing it into here on this side, like so, so that the stud side is facing towards this way. so that then we can connect this anti-stud right here onto this stud over here, like on that. And then we'll take our beige clip piece and attach it on top of our remaining green stud, like so, with the clip side facing away from the rest of the build, like so. Then after that, we'll take another one of these longer sloped tile pieces and another one of our dark green 1x2s. We'll attach one of these studs onto this anti-stud here at the middle, like so, and then we'll layer this on top of these studs, like so, making sure that the taller end, that the end with the 1x2 is facing towards the end with the beige clip. Then after that, we can connect the forearm onto the shoulder, like so. Simple as that. And of course, we mirror that. It's very simple. And then after that, we'll be working on the legs. So, for our legs, we're going to be starting off with the thighs. So we'll take one of these. So first, let's take one of these parts with our socket joint. One of these 1x2 bricks in dark green with our socket joint. So first, let's take this part and attach these two studs onto these two anti-studs, like that. So it's sort of like that. After that, we'll take our other one, like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach these two studs onto these two anti-studs and having it so that it's like that. Then after that, we'll sandwich that in with our other one of these wedge pieces. Just layer that on top of there, like so. Then what we'll do is we'll take another one of these snot bricks, as well as two of these like little tiny like tooth pieces. So what's gonna happen is that for this side, so we have our brick arranged like this. We attach our spikes to the studs on the side. We plug those into the studs on the side. And what I'm doing is that from looking at it from the top, I'm having it so that the spikes are both pointed towards the left, both leaning towards the left. Now this is going to have to be mirrored for the right, so that both of these spikes are going to be leaning towards the right on the other leg. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take our regular green 1x2. We're going to be attaching one of these studs onto the anti-stud of this like brick, like that, and then we're going to take our anti-stud of this little assembly and connect it like that, so that one spike is sort of flushed with the rest of the thigh, and the other one is sticking out as like a little like extra bit of detail. Oh, my bad. Then after that, we'll take our 1x4 tile in beige, and we'll connect these 3 anti-studs onto these 3 studs, like so. Then there we have that. And with that, our thigh section is pretty much done. And so coming up is our lower leg. So starting off, we'll take one of these sort of Technic adapting pieces, and one of these like Technic like ball joint pieces, and one of our red Technic axles, and these will attach pretty much exactly the way you would expect these parts to attach. Like you slide the ball joint into this gap and you like stick the axle through there. Like pretty much how it like it shows you to build it in some of the instructions. Pretty simple. So next, we'll take our 1x6 in beige, 1x6 plate in beige, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach these 2 studs onto the 2 anti-studs of this part. Then after that, we'll take our 1x4 plate in beige, and we'll attach these 2 studs onto these 2 anti-studs like that. Then after that, we'll take this more vertical like ratcheting like joints, and we're going to attach the anti-studs onto the other 2 studs of the 1x4 like so. Then after that, we'll take we'll line up these like bricks so we'll take our 1x4 dark green brick, our 1x4 brick in dark green. We're going to attach the 2 anti-studs on top of these 2 studs like so. After that, we'll take our inverted slope brick. We're going to be attaching these 2 anti-studs onto these 2 studs right here. So like that. And then we'll take this sloped brick. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this anti-stud onto this stud down here. So it's like that. Then after that, we'll take another one of these parts, have it so that it's angled like this, so that the corner is facing this way. And then we're going to be layering it on top of here like so. And then boom. Then we're going to be taking another one of these pieces, and we're going to be attaching these 2 anti-studs onto these 2 studs like so. Then after that, we take our simple little 2x2 brick in green, and we're going to be attaching it on top of these 4 studs right here, like so. And then that's that part built, and now we built our foot. And our foot is going to be simple because we're going to be taking another one of these longer parts, these like longer like sloped tiles. We're going to be taking this like hinge, the other part of this like little hinge part. So we're going to attach this dark gray stud onto this anti-stud here at the top, at this end, right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach another one of these beige clip pieces. We're going to attach it to this anti-stud here at the like ratcheting joint, like so. Have it so that the hand clip is facing away from the rest of the build. Then after that, we'll take another one of our white 1x2 white 1x2 tooth piece, and we're going to be attaching these two white studs onto these two anti-studs here, like that. And for this side, we'll have our teeth facing this way. And then after that, we can connect this, like this hinge part into like this hinge part. Connect it like that to form the ankle. And then after that, we'll take our thigh component. We'll connect this ball joint onto the knee, like so. Then after that, you can go ahead and mirror the rest of this leg, of the other leg. And we're going to be like getting a good look at that. And then after that, we'll simply work on our claw piece next. And so, our claw accessory is going to be very simple. We'll simply take, take these parts. We'll take one of these and one of these like white spike pieces. We're going to be connecting this into this like tube part, like so. And we're going to be building two of those. Very simple. Next, we're going to be taking another one of these like hinge, like clip sort of pieces. And we're going to be taking our longer like tusk sort of tooth, like saber tooth, like sort of tooth. And we're going to be plugging it into this hole like the other one, like so. And we're going to be building 3 of those. And then let's connect all this together. And so what's going to go on here is we're going to take this white bar piece. We're going to be taking our two like smaller our smaller spike like fingers. We're going to connect them like so. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take 2 of these like longer tooth like fingers. We're going to connect one like here, right here, and the other on the other hand and right there. Having it so it's like that. And then the third one will be connected into the middle like so. And then we just simply close that up. And depending on which hand you want this in, you either slide this middle finger either this way or the other way. And because we are going to be putting this onto our like sort of left hand, we're going to have it so that it's this way, so that when you clip it on, it's going to be a little offset, but like then you can just squeeze this together, have it so the fingers are slightly more lined up, close the fingers, then there you have that. And of course we have it connected to our hand. And if you want to build another one, it's very simple. Just bear in mind of the middle finger. So the middle finger goes right in front, right on. So here's an easy way to memorize this. So the middle finger, you should line the middle finger up with the dark green part. Should be simple. Then after that, we can go ahead and assemble our build. So starting off, we'll take our torso, take this part, connect these 4 studs onto these 4 anti-studs like so. Then we'll take these parts, we'll attach these studs onto we'll attach these studs onto these anti-studs, like so. And we'll, of course, be doing the same with the other side of the back, so that it looks like that. Next, we'll be connecting our legs onto our hips, like so. Doing the same with the other side. Connecting our arms. Connecting the arms should be really simple. Do the same with the other side. And then, last but most certainly not least, come on, stay up. You're embarrassing me. Not really, but it's just slightly inconvenient, you know? We'll take our head and attach it to our mixer ball joint, like so. And then that's it. Here we have Gamma Zone all built up and ready to go. Just lining it up for our, and yep, that is it. That is how you build Gamma Zone. If you enjoyed this build through, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.